Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This country is headed to a very serious darkness. There is impending darkness, and it is just a matter of time before this country finds itself in a situation never seen before. If you are joining this channel, take that 1 second and like this video, so that anytime we upload a video, YouTube will always notify you. Raila Amolo Odinga's Azimio gave a deadline, which was to expire yesterday night. At midnight, the expiry date expired. The date meant a lot if you ask me. The other thing that we need to note is that Azimio had pulled out of the bipartisan talks, citing frustrations in Kenya Kwanza, lack of seriousness and lack of giving these talks the support and the seriousness that they deserve. Indeed, those who are there, the participants, are of the opinion that William Samoei Ruto is just buying time and he does not mean any business. So in this video, I want us to look at the grave situation that is ahead of this nation. One thing that is very clear is that William Samoei Ruto has started so many battles. Battles that I'm not sure if he is going to win. You know, when you are starting a battle, be very certain that you win the battle, and you should know how you are going to exit. Does William Samoei Ruto have the exit strategy? He started the battle with Azimio. He started by reading Jubilee Azimio and stealing the Jubilee party. And I can tell you, there is more than meets the eye. The mad rush to steal Jubilee means a lot if you ask me. And when you look at it, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta did not take this thing kindly. Indeed, a friend of mine who is very close to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was telling us that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta wanted to retire, and he was serious. But he wanted to leave a Jubilee party intact in Azimio. And he wanted to continue supporting Azimio during his retirement. So he would do it behind the scene. But the fact that William Samoei Ruto and his brigade continued attacking Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and his Jubilee party meant that William Samoei Ruto had declared war on Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and he had decided to start destroying Jubilee party. When you see the former head of state and the current head of state confronting each other, know that the darkness is coming. Know that this is not something that should be taken lightly. Raila Amolo Odinga also is not a person to take lightly. Raila Amolo Odinga is one person with a huge following. Indeed, people have been forcing Raila Amolo Odinga to call for mass demonstration. He is being forced by the members of the public to call for mass action. And I can tell you, when Raila now calls for mass action, which I believe he is going to do because I understand he's going to address the nation today, when he calls the mass action, I believe it will take the effort of the international community to stop this madamano, to stop this mass action. And this is coming when the trade unions and the workers are hurting. When the government, when William Samoei Ruto is raiding the pay slip of workers. It is coming when the Azimio had given the government ultimatum to withdraw the 2023 finance bill and come up with something that is acceptable to the nation. Come up with something that is acceptable because everybody is crying. Unapoangalia utaona kwamba wengi watajitokeza wakati ambapo hali hii itatokea. The darkness that we witness in this country, I can tell you, it is only maybe the United Nations or the African Union that is going to intervene. And I can tell you, William Samoei Ruto may be forced out of office very soon. If what is happening in this country is anything to go by, when you look at William Samoei Ruto, he also started war with Maina Jega. Sasa ukijiuliza, sasa Maina Jega amefanya nini? Maina Jega is just a former leader of Mugiki. For those of you who comes from Mount Kenya, you agree with me that Mugiki today is a very different organization. Mugiki, although it had been blacklisted, although it had been outlawed by the former government, kile ambacho tunajua ni kwamba sasa wale vijana ambao wanajihusisha na kundi hili, wengi wao sio watu ambao unaweza kusema ni hatari kwa usalama wa nchi. Wengi hawana neno, hata hawezi kudhuru inzi sebuse mwanadamu. That is the truth of the matter. But when you see, when you listen to what these people are saying when Maina Jega was taken to court, in a court, you realize that these are people who are very much determined to face the government head on. The big question is the government going to win this confrontation with the sons of Mau? Because these are the true sons of Mau, truth be told. And those who have been pretending that they are sons of Mau, they should better see the real sons of Mau. Again, when you look at this country, you realize that the government is losing support. You realize that if Raila calls for mass action, everybody is going to join the mass action. Don't be surprised, even when you see some of the groups that you are not expecting to join the mass action, joining the mass action. And I believe people have realized that the housing scheme is meant to enrich people from Azimio. Not sorry for that, to enrich, sorry for that, I apologize for that. It's meant to enrich the people who are in government. And one of the things that people are saying is that the way William Samoei Ruto is pushing for the house tax means that he's going to benefit a lot. Ukiangalia utaona kwamba he is so much determined to ensure that this finance bill passes. To him, the 2023 finance bill is a matter of life and death. When you look at him, utaona kwamba ni mtu ambaye hasikilizi mtu yeyote yule. And one thing that is very clear, that you cannot fail to listen to the people. You cannot fail to listen to the voice of God. The voice of the people is the voice of God. So William Samoei Ruto, he better listen to what the people are saying. Again, when you look at this country, you realize that, for instance, the people who were accused of selling poisoned sugar to Kenyans, hakuna mtu ambaye ametiwa baroni, hakuna mtu ambaye ameshtakiwa. What we saw is that only the KEMSA scandal ambapo tuliona watu wengi wakipoteza kazi zao. But now when you look at the poison sugar madness, hatuoni mtu yote yule ambaye anahusika. Hatuoni kile ambacho tunaona ya kwamba we only had that this poison sugar in the supermarket shelves and shops, lakini hatujaona hata mtu mmoja akitiwa baroni, simply because the people who are associated with this are people who are in government. And I believe that this scandal could have reached the highest office. I believe this scandal was carried out with military precision by people who knew that there's nothing that would be done to them. So when Kenyans see this, they are very bitter, because you can see now, it's like William Samoei Ruto is busy destroying the future of Kenyans. Because when you allow Kenyans to consume poison sugar, aren't you killing Kenyans? Aren't you killing Kenyans when you allow poison sugar in the market? When you tax them, you tax everything. When you tax even things that should not be taxed. When you tax even the sanitary pads. When you tax cosmetics. When you tax kila kitu. When you raid payslip for workers who are getting bigger salaries, then you are killing them. Because you are telling them that they cannot be able to finance, they cannot be able to even put 3 meals on the table. And when you look at this situation, you realize that even the members of parliament, majority of members of parliament are not supporting this. Even those who are in Kenya Kwanza, and a leader who does not reason is a person who is led by pride. And pride always comes before a fall. Unaona mtu anasema hivi, I think there was this king, is it Rehoboam, who could not even listen to the people. And I want to compare, I think that, is it King Rehoboam? That king ended having the house of Israel divided into two. And when you look at this coincidence, you know, Azimio is planning to write to the United Nations for secession. And secession is not something that can come that easily. Secession is something that will bring a lot of confusion in this country. Secession is something that is going to destabilize this government. Secession is something that can actually collapse, can make William Samoei Ruto's government to collapse. Truth be told. Kwa sababu kuna wale ambao wanataka kwenda upande wa Azimio na kuna wale ambao wanataka kubaki upande wa serikali. And it is something that will be contested. It will require the United Nations to come and draw the boundaries. Because when you look at the people who are in Azimio, hawa ni watu ambao wamejitolea kabisa, ni watu ambao wao hawarudi nyuma. In fact, that's why I'm saying that the cloud of darkness that is hovering around this country is serious. The cloud that is hovering is something that needs to be addressed with the emergency that and the seriousness that it deserves. And that is why you see even the church trying to intervene. You know they failed. And I believe what is going to happen to this country, it is something that will be a big lesson to those people who steal the elections. Kwa sababu haina haja ya kuibia watu uchaguzi. Haina haja ya kuibia watu ambao walishida. Ikiwa mtu hajashida, anafaa kukubali kwamba hakushida. There's no need of rigging the elections. Because without justice, I can tell you, even peace becomes very, very elusive. Without proper justice, bila haki, hata ile amani ambayo tuwa inadumu, ile ambayo tunaitafuta sana, inakuwa ni jambo ambalo linawapiga wananchi chega. I can tell you and I can predict that this time round, William Samoei Ruto needs to prepare himself. I don't know how he's going to tackle the Azimio when this thing starts. Kwa sababu inafika mahali ambapo inasemekana kwamba you can stop an invasion of armies, but you cannot stop an idea whose time has come. The time for decision look like it is ripe in this country. And it is happening very fast in a way many people do not expect. So, I don't know what you think, but from where I sit, I can see a dark cloud covering our beautiful nation. Pray for this country. Mwashe mataa zenu, mataa yenu yawashwe, kwa sababu ile giza ambayo inakuja ni giza ambayo inaweza kuelezwa kama giza totoro. Kwa sababu itatubidi tuwe tayari kwa lolote lile ambalo litatokea. This is your host, Gachie Skyman, the tallest man in Black Africa, and may you have a blessed day. Bye bye.